closed factories, created a rise in unemployment ranks, it cut the operations of railroads, and it pinched farmers. So you have a lot of people who are starving to death, and there is this big old chasm between the rich and the poor. And this depression engendered violence and encouraged many Democrats to start listening to the populists. It's sort of like, for instance, Bernie Sanders today. It encouraged many Democrats to listen to Bernie Sanders. Meanwhile, Republicans called all those populists and all those Democrats supporting them as communists, as anarchists, as socialists, as nothing but unpatriotic American agitators who should immediately be deported. But that's the classic Republican response to any kind of crisis. And the election of 1896 saw William Jennings Bryan representing the rural population and the plight of the urban worker pitted against William McKinley, a banking, shipping, coal, iron, and railway businessman representing the millionaire boss. And this was the election of 1896. Let's go to a film clip from a famous movie and appreciate the significance of the populist moment.
It's all right. You may all come out and thank her. Come out, wherever you are, and meet the young lady who fell from a star. She fell from the sky, she fell very far, under Kansas, she says, is the name of the star. Kansas, she says, is the name of the star. She brings you good news, or haven't you heard? When she fell out of Kansas, a miracle occurred.
It really was no miracle. What happened was just this. The wind began to switch, the house to pitch, and suddenly the hinges started to unhitch. Just then, the witch, to satisfy an itch, went flying on her broomstick, thumbing for a hitch.
Oh, what happened then was rich.
The house began to pitch, and the kitchen took a hitch. If that I don't get the witch in the middle of the ditch. Turn around this situation for a wicked witch. The house began to pitch, and the kitchen took a hitch. If that I don't get the witch in the middle of the ditch. Turn around this situation for a wicked witch. Who began to twitch, and this began to
We thank you very sweetly for doing it so neatly.
You've killed us so completely that we thank you very sweetly.
Let the joyous news be spread, the wicked old witch at last is dead.
Land of Oz. It's very important, this particular movie, even though Hollywood made it in the 1940s and kind of distorted the whole meaning and message of The Wizard of Oz. But The Land of Oz was created by American author L. Frank Baum and illustrator William Wallace Denslow. And economic and history professors have published scholarly studies that indicate that the images and characters that were used by Baum and Denslow resembled the political images that were well known in the 1890s. There was the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Lion, like other elements and characters and elements in The Wizard of Oz. They were common themes found in editorial cartoons of the 1890s. And Baum and Denslow, like most writers, used the material at hand that they knew best. And they built a story around them, and they added Dorothy, and then they added a series of lessons to the effect that everyone possesses the resources that they need, such as brains, a heart, and courage, if only they had self-confidence. Although it was a children's book, of course, Baum noted in the preface that it was a modernized fairy tale as well. So let's go back to this fairy tale and let's appreciate something about the Wicked Witch.
Way down
lollipop, the lollipop, yeah. We wish to welcome you to Munchkin Land. We welcome you to Munchkin Land. From now on, you'll be history. You'll be history. You'll be history. And we will glorify your name. You'll be a bust, be a bust, be a bust in the Hall of Fame.
Okay. Now, those who interpret The Wonderful Wizard of Oz as a political allegory of the populist movement, they see Dorothy as that woman coming of age in America, hoping to represent all of the little people, the munchkins, who have no voice. Now, originally, the slippers were silver, not ruby. And the silver represented the quest of the populace to make silver the basis for issuing money. And the Wicked Witch of the East, the one who died as Andy M's house landed on her, represented the banking industry. So the people are liberated from the banks who have taken all their money. Now, the Wicked Witch of the West represented the railroads. The Scarecrow, the central figure, was a reflection of the popular image of that second and third generation immigrant American farmer. Although he has been persuaded that he is only a dumb hick, he possesses a strong common sense, a remarkable quick-wittedness that needs only to be reinforced by self-confidence, and the willingness to organize politically. The Tin Man. That Tin Man is the industrial worker. The industrial worker needs a heart to join the Scarecrow in demanding change. The Cowardly Lion is the politician who might be willing to speak up on behalf of the downtrodden if he has the courage to do so. And the Yellow Brick Road represented the economy that was based on the gold standard, and the wizard himself is the leader of this great benevolent government who is able to manipulate every situation. So as the film clip shared with us, the banks were finally put out of commission, no longer threatening the people. And it sounds like a message for us today, given that the banks have taken the money and run. Now, this protest against privilege and monopoly was ultimately expressed in the assassination of the president at the turn of the century. So yes, students, you need to understand that the president at the turn of the century, 1900, was assassinated. That is a significant historical event. An anarcho-syndicalist, hearing the voice of an immigrant Russian woman named Emma Goldman, she was talking about justice and liberty against capitalist monopoly. Well, he listened to her and he decided to take fate in his own hands, and he symbolically eliminated the symbol of injustice. And the populist movement became a moment, and it transformed into what is known as progressive reform. So revolution engulfed the world. So let's watch a film clip from a documentary that is required viewing for this class,